It's Russell Crowe in the Les
I was about to
Miserables
say Russell
movie.
Crowe.
He's singing so good. Anyway, hi everybody and welcome to Dreamlands Theatre of the Mind. My name is Philip, and I'm your publisher, as this is a top flight thing, and we're just talking about the brilliance of Russell Crowe singing as Javert in Les Miserables.
The difference, Jeremy, is while the same sound person may have been in charge, Tom Hooper is a ludicrous director. Because Tom Hooper is also the guy that went, hey, yeah, we're going to do Cats, and everyone's going to sign up because everyone just won Oscars for being in Les Mis. And I'm just going to sort of mix things around. So some people are going to wear suits with mocap trackers. Some people are going to wear green screen suits on a green screen background. Some people are going to wear none of that and just be in like sweats. And the visual arts the visual team will just figure it out.
And figure it out they did, with the butthole cut.
They gave them 6 months to make the trailer. Took them 6 months to make the trailer, and then they gave them 4 months to do the entire movie.
Yeah, but then yep. Anyway, but we're here talking about Wicked, which, as Dustin Howell would say, was wicked good. So that's a Boston joke. I haven't actually seen Wicked, but I've only heard good things.
Yeah, I haven't heard a single bad thing. Even with I expected even people to complain that it was part 1. And that it was like unnecessarily long.
I am complaining about that. I do like
that. I think they did a better job of telling people that beforehand than other movies have, like Spider-Verse.
Yes.
Like Spider-Verse, that was a fucking surprise and a problem.
Oh, I think it was a surprise for most people. It's just that it started coming out in the reviews. People just started that had reviewed it.
Yes, but nothing in the marketing. Wicked, I have seen nothing but saying this is Wicked Part 1 and Part 2 comes out next year. I saw so much of that in the lead up to Wicked.
None of that.
Oh,
yeah,
well, there you go.
And I have seen 96 Wicked ads every single day while watching stuff on Peacock for the last 2 months.
Well, there you go.
And anyway,
there you go. Well, Wicked, whatever you're doing. Wicked, defying box office tea. Okay, good.
I was just saying, my favorite thing now is to see like what are the wrong lessons that will be learned from this. Like what are they going to look at this and go like, oh, we need to do this now. And I'm wondering if it's like what other 20-year-old musical will they decide to like bring? Because it's not going to be. They never learned the right lessons. It's like how after the Nolan's Batman trilogy, they were like, oh, everything needs to be gritty and dark. Because that's what made those things successful. And then they made Superman dark, and then they made Arrow dark, and they made everything gritty and dark, right?
Sophia says more 2-part musicals. Book of Mormon is 2 parts.
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
But KJ, you're saying not 2-part musicals. You're saying 1-part musicals.
Oh well.
I would have rather they just make, I don't know, a 6-hour-long thing, put an intermission, and just let me go in sweats and Uggs with a bucket of food and just let that be my day. I'd pay like twice as much because it's like 2 movies. I would do it. I don't want to wait a year to find out if it's true to the show or to the book. That's what I don't want.
Reasonable.
Because it stops at the same section as the musical, and then in stage musical it derails from there.
Yeah.
So now I have anxiety for a year, wondering which way they're gonna go. And
That's
I think
no
I
good.
already know, and I'm upset about it.
Oh. I'm sorry. I hope, which I rarely hope, but I hope you're wrong.
Have they announced?
In this, I hope you're wrong. Yeah.
Have they already announced it'll be like another fall release? Because I imagine they would just try to do it in the summer, so you wouldn't have to wait a whole year.
I think it's another fall
It's gonna
release.
be a holiday release.
Yeah, I think it's 1 year from now. Same weekend or whatever. Galanorian Saber says Moana 2 is really good too. So there you go. I have not seen Moana 2. But I have. Moana 2 certainly made. Also was very successful. So good for those movies. Being successful.
I have some quibbles with the production story of that movie. But
well, certainly there seems to be some interesting things going on with the Moana 2. But speaking of Moana 2, let's talk about Dice 1. So far, we have 3 symbols in our Warlocks and Wizards dice. We have these swords with energy. These may never have shown up on a stream before.
They look like the Master Sword from the Link.
Bum. We have the wizard sort of sparkles in blue, and we have some kind of like arcane eye looking things like this in orange. So those 3 have appeared. We have 8 dice out so far. If you guys do want to guess, I'll kind of give you the rundown, but I'll also just tell you if you pick one that's already there, I'll just say not that. We have a D10 and a D8 in the wizard eye, or in the arcane eye. We have a D4 and a D10 in the sword. And we have 4 of the blues. Being...
Oh, they have 4 of the already? Okay.
Yeah, we have D8, D12, D4, and percentile. So, if anyone would like to guess, please do so. Galanorian Saber is putting, appropriately for someone whose name has Saber in it, D20 sword.
I was actually also going to go D20, but Arcane Eye.
Arcane D20 Arcane Eye, D20 sword.
How many colors you got?
3.
3.
Stars.
Yep. Same thing as last time. I'm gonna go either a purple or green swirly thingy, and then D6.
I also will mention this set is only 24 days, so it will only have 3 complete ones.
Oh, then I take it back.
We don't have any D6s, so I would go for D6, but you might want to stick to sword, eye, or stars.
Sparkle, eyeball, or sword?
Sword, yeah.
Eyeball.
Eyeball. So we're talking sword D20, eyeball D20, eyeball D6. Jeremy?
Let's say sword D6.
Sword D6. Oh man, so we are talking D6s, D20s.
This feels like you Price is Right at me, and you just did like $1 more.
Is there any chance
I would
you'll be
never
able to
do
see
something
it?
like that.
You know, you guys just can't see it because I have a background up, and that's okay. Drum roll, please. Ladies and gentlemen, we do have a winner tonight. And that winner, this is an interesting situation, and I know how we're going to handle it. The winner tonight is...
Jeremy, isn't it? I'm gonna fucking cut him.
Good news. It is Galanorian Saber.
Yeah.
We have a sword D20. So what that means, Galanorian Saber, I am going to have you represent... Ooh, this is a night where it might not come up, but we will try it anyway. We're gonna give in honor of you for their hireling NPC team. They will get a heroic inspiration, which means they can re-roll their whole roll if they come into things, and we will.
Oh, is that how it?
Yes, or what? Heroic inspiration is interesting. It's like the lucky feat now just gives you what inspiration used to be that you spend points. Inspiration is now the lucky feat where you get to re-roll, which is, I would think, a good change. That's much more fun. It's much more fun to be like, I failed. I'll use my inspiration to re-roll.
Yeah,
so,
which is how everyone assumed it would.
Precisely. So here is how this is going to go down, and we'll actually kind of get into this. Jeremy, I also sent this to you. I think I hadn't even mentioned this to you. I will say this to our viewers. Also, we sure did spend a lot of time talking about Wicked and such, because probably going to be an earlier night, just because stuff's going on here, and I've been up since pretty early Dallas time. So, here's how there is a new thing in this game. It's something we were talking about, but we have implemented it. There are now new and unique hero dice features for the hero dice in this game. So guys, first of all, make sure you all grab your hero dice and have those set aside to be expended. Your hero dice now have, I'm going to go over them very quickly just so our viewers hear them. Basically, the hero dice now have unique features, but ones that are appropriate for this crafting game. You guys might want to pay attention to some of the bigger ticket ones of these, because they can... Now that we've played a few sessions, you sort of see how these help. The D4, as always, gives you advantage. However, now... I'll say this, an overall thing. Now, when you roll your hero die and your... Jeremy, you've actually never had this work. So basically, your hero dice now, in addition to being able to add them to a roll after the fact, each one has an activation use, where you are going to expend it not to put it on top of a roll. You roll the die as part of this use, and if you roll its maximum value, you keep it. You don't expend it. And you get all its benefits, and sometimes extra benefits. In the case of the D4, you get an extra benefit, which is if you roll your D4, because you're saying it gives you advantage. If you roll it and get a 4, you get triple advantage. Or, If you roll it and get a 4 and you were using it to cancel out disadvantage you already had, you get advantage on that roll even though you should have had disadvantage. So that's pretty cool. The D6 has an interesting one, and this is one where, like, I don't think people are going to use the D6 all the time, but you always can. The point of the D6 is you can choose whatever ability score you want for a roll, be it a skill or tool, be it during a skill challenge or not. You can just be like, I want to use my muscles for this intelligence check, and it's that you get to do that. Roll the D6. If you succeed, you don't lose the D6, and you get to roll the modifier from any other ability score on top of it too. So it's just boom, big roll, fun times. On the hero D8, you get something called Quick Study, and this is a helpful one where you get to gain proficiency in any skill or tool. If you roll, if it's in a challenge, you just do it for one roll, but if you're like in game, you get it for a minute. So you'll have proficiency for a minute in that thing. And I know also some of you may have spells that give you proficiency and stuff, but it's another use. You don't have to use it, but that's one way to use the D8 to do that. Spend the D10 to, this is a big one for crafting and skill challenges only. If you spend the D10, you can use a skill someone has already used in that challenge, which was a bit, you're sort of realizing I'm running these challenges, so that's a big thing. So in other words, it's like we both have plus 15 to our Arcana, so I'm going to spend my D10 so I can also roll Arcana on this. You then roll the D10, and if you hit the D10, you not only don't lose the die, anyone can use that throughout the rest of the challenge as many times as they want. It's not just a one-time thing. It's like cool, we can, every single one of us just do Arcana the whole day. Fun times. The D12 lets you add a bonus. You add your proficiency bonus to the roll of your hirelings. So basically, you're kind of like, if you're ever worried, like, we're all going to be able to hit this 40, no problem, the hirelings are not, you're like, we're going to throw this on the hirelings so they can get to this thing. Roll the D12, and in this case, you roll the D12, you always add your D12 roll to the hirelings. And if you hit a 12, you're adding 12, and then you're adding your proficiency bonus again. So it's like, big ups for them. The hero D20, this one is arguably well, I don't think arguably, this is definitely the biggest use thing, because you see how impactful they are. Hero D20, like the hero D20 in Top Flight, you may use it to gain another turn. In this, you can use it to gain an additional Bastion action. So in other words, when you guys are setting your Bastion actions before like a week of crafting begins or going out of crafting begins, you can do 2 of them, which is a very big deal. There are times where you'd be like, we don't have enough. Oftentimes you guys have 2 you want to use. Well, now you can do it. If you roll the D20 and you hit an at 20, you keep your D20 and you get to pick 2 additional Bastion actions. So you dictate 3 total. So, any questions about how that will work? I think those are all fairly self-explanatory, but wanted to run through those just for viewers.
Makes sense.
Well, good. Then in that case, I think we're ready to jump into it. When last we met with our intrepid crafters of MEI, they were hot off of a very successful crafting job making a sword called the Penetrator. No one laugh. They then took that sort of financial freedom and focused on a sword or on a magic item crafting that wouldn't be the most lucrative short term, but might get them a really good avenue of new business by making a new broom for the Hoboken Witch. They really put a lot into this, because unlike our first time where we just did a single round, they had to do 3 full... no, you did 4 rounds, in fact, to give her everything she asked for on this wild broom. You guys managed to get some pretty darn high averages, and you saved the biggest for the end, where you were able to get just over 50 as your average, because of some preposterous numbers from... Was it Will and...
And Fallen.
Will and Mr. Glurk were the ones who cleared 60. Will got to a 68 and Mr. Glurk got to a 54. Faunnelin cleared 50, and then Asheen and Reg were not we're not over 50.
We're failures. Abject failures.
Well, you're fine, but Reg, you were actually not an abject failure. You were close to 50. You were not bringing it. Reg had a 33. Reg was really dragging it down, and it's a fun game where a 33 is a disaster and everyone mocks you. D&D. So, you guys did a great job. You created this for the Hoboken Witch, who now has her power surge involves her like skipping through time in her own body, going through. Hey, guess what? Philip's doing more nonsense about Mother Maiden Crone witch stuff. So anyway, so she can go through different phases of being a witch. You know, in the mother phase, she's got real Agatha vibes, etc. Point being, she was super happy, and so was one of her teammates from Rumor Inc. Mind Game. So, you guys, and then in an epilogue, she hooked up with the synth devil, and congratulations to them, I guess. What's the demonic version of Mazel Tov? The point is,
Mazel Tov.
Mazel Tov. No. It would be Votlism.
Oh, backwards.
Votlism. Yeah. Cool. So, okay. So anyway, congratulations.
How was that again?
You want me to do? I have to do it again.
Yeah, you have to do it again.
I have to.
One more time.
So we usually do this. So it's okay. So anyway,
This is like when I went to that worm area and I couldn't say anyone's fucking name.
I made in an off-stream game. I had it be that when they went to the when they went to like the demon thing, it just always sounded like demonic backward talking. So all the places were like and KJ
It sounds like something that KJ would love.
didn't like it then, doesn't like it now, yet she's still here.
Because they kept asking me like, who did you want to speak to? Where did you want to go? It's like I don't fucking know, man. Just the place we were just there.
There were a few locations in that campaign that were very not KJ friends.
There was also my favorite location name that I did because I wrote it because it sounds like it sounds like actual real world things that are kind of interesting, and I like things where I get to the point where I can say them really fast. And one of them was Kitisikagala. So you need to go to the frosty wastelands of Kitisikagala, and it was good times in Kitisikagala. On stream, the one that I've reused many times. I had it off stream and on stream, but I've used is Ranchonius Gafera Catomio. That's what I'm a real fan of. Ranchonius Gafera Catomio. You see, if you write a thing and then you just make yourself say it a million times, you can say it fast. Speaking of saying things fast, we don't have much time for today's game. So let's just jump on into it. We've done a recap. We've done dice. I've explained the new hero dice system. So, my friends, Asheen, Will, and Faudelin, you are gathered. I am going to say that Mr. Glurk and Reg are present as well for this opening at least, in which your girl... she has a name, and I'll totally remember it, and my mind is not a shambles. Lustra. Yeah. The Valo lady who is the boss of her. Yeah, the kind of running your manager person, basically. Lustra shows up and tells you that based on the recommendations you guys had last week and all your stuff, she does have some leads. There actually is already someone. Well, I'll jump into it. So, thank you all for coming. I know that it was a very taxing job putting together that broom, the broom out of hell, but the good news is your reputation has already spread to other magic users from Earth, and one of them actually... Excuse me. She cast dancing lights. I'm so sorry. You have to apologize for my bad behavior. I really... I understand that I'm letting things go, and it hasn't affected work yet, but I just don't want any of you worried.
Annalyn is just gonna turn to Will and go, she's very sorry.
About what?
About the darkness that I let into this room because of showing off my dark side.
About the darkness that she let into the room because of showing her dark side.
I was tempted.
What I
Darkness
told
in
you
this
about
room.
traumatizing the workers?
Oh, she didn't traumatize me, although I did try something I thought Faunnelin might have liked, and then I was like, this isn't me. I tried something called a smoky eye. I think it was a mistake. I don't know, I just have such a dark side. Anyway, good news. The Broom Out of Hell was a massive success. We already have interest from other heroes of Earth. But I think after speaking with Flynar, we have a more pressing matter that goes to the signature item you wish to create. We have in fact found, I know that Faunnelin, you were saying that amethyst is the gem we should be using because you successfully incorporated that protective magic with amethyst into the broom. Well, we do in fact have a lead on an amethyst mine that is not currently being used at all. So we were thinking of having some of the partners go and try to negotiate this deal.
Oh, well, good luck to them.
Well, I was thinking maybe it would be... she kind of gestures to
I think she
Asheen.
means us.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Would you like to go? There's a kind of a monstrous creature. He's called a gem stalker. Everyone can make an Arcana check to see if they know what that is.
25.
25. You have certainly heard of a gem stalker before. You know them to be. I'll phrase it like this. You are familiar with them as being sort of like strange, monstrous things that are very obsessed with gems and sometimes even like connected to the gems. Sometimes they have gems. They're not like living gem crystals, but like they often have them growing on them, or they have like a connection to them. Will and Oshin, did we make Arcana checks? Nothing. Okay, so yeah.
Not better.
Oh, well, Will, I think you know similar then. You maybe don't know quite as many specifics that Faunnelin could think of, but the idea is they are these kind of strange sort of creatures warped by some unknown magic to be these kind of like gem-centric monstrosities who live under the earth. This one owns a mine, so clearly must really like gems or be into being sort of near them in the earth. And the idea is basically if you guys can convince him to let you mine there, you're going to have access to the raw materials to make these unique but easily scalable amethyst brooches that will have the protective magic in them that you can sort of do at a wider scale, that will be able to give you guys a signature piece lots of people could buy, thus really raising the sort of profile of MEI. It's the equivalent of the carabiner. I don't know what REI's main little thing is.
Yeah, that's...
But like it's like a thing. It's like we'll get this. Yeah. So she says, we don't know much about this gemstalker. We know his name is Stayut, and he owns the mine legally. He has a contract. Though he is a monstrous thing, it was sort of made for the sort of ruler of the area. It was agreed to. He has never allowed mining operations to go in, though there are actually miners near Lake Jumbleshore who would be happy to go and work, and they would, well, I mean, there are many ways that this could wind up happening for you. You could attempt to purchase the mine from him. I will tell you that would leave us, despite our good cash flow so far, we would have to get a loan to purchase it outright from him. And that could become a controversial and complex process. For us to simply gain mining rights and sign a contract, that is what Flynar and I were primarily suggesting we attempt to do. In other words, you're sort of commissioning him and miners, and they'll see to it and simply deliver us amethyst in exchange for the rate we've negotiated. But if you would rather try to acquire the mine, you can do that. Just know this will become less of a let's go visit an amethyst mine and more let's go to the banks and convince them that we deserve a loan. I do not have a great deal of knowledge on how to convince Stayut to give you access to his mine. If you think you have the charms to simply go to him and convince him, see what he wants, convince him it's in his interest to be gaining money and to have his amethyst go worldwide, then by all means do so. If you would like to try to craft him some beautiful thing here as a trade, you could do so. Flynar could attempt to sort of look up. He's been more just looking into sort of areas and things, or specific mines, so he has not done that yet. But go ahead, Fonolin.
Fonolin's not going to ask this.
Understood.
Would we be able to go hear what he wants and then come back and craft it? As opposed to just guessing right now?
You could do that, absolutely. You could kind of go travel to him, come back and do that, but that will be multiple 10 days. And here's how we'll phrase it.
Teleport?
That's true. You do have the teleport spell. Yes, you have teleport, just straight up.
Let me check.
Normal teleport spell.
Return teleport spell.
You have the return teleport spell.
I have teleportation circle. So I don't know if we have a circle. If we got a circle.
We don't need one because of the thing I have.
Yeah, you guys have many. Does anyone have the 7th level spell teleport to go there?
No.
Okay. So you have plenty of ways to get back fast, but you would basically need to, because the way I was going to do this is you guys could either sort of craft an item here, and we'll just do a quick 1-round craft, or you can just go to him, and this time all of the Bastion actions that are taken will just be like what happens while you guys are traveling for a week, kind of there chatting to him and back or whatever it is.
Oh, sure.
But if you'd like to travel to him, come back, craft, and go again, you can do that. But know that at the end of that time, you'll be operating without the financial cushion that the big success in week 1 got you. So basically, this session will take up 2 weeks, and you're only sort of financially floated through this week.
Sorry, I missed. Is the mine on this plane of existence? Or
Yeah. Oh, it's on this plane.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just Lake Jumbleshore, which is just conveniently far enough away that it's like a journey. But it's not super far, it's like, yeah.
Interesting. Because in theory, hang on, I need to read the spell.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what would he like then?
Well, if you'd like, we could go and ask Flynar to do some looking into that. If you think that, if you want to go, so in other words, the main way I would suggest you attempt this, and not that one would have none of the other, you could either try to buy him by giving him something he would enjoy, or you could simply try to convince him and persuade him and charm him and do whatever else he might enjoy. Clearly, you can do one or the other.
I mean, I have been known to be quite charming, and Will smiles, and he has like essentially what is like Courage the Cowardly Dog teeth, like with like the hole in one of them, and it's like all gross.
Oh. Or someone else. Yes, someone on the team. She just looks right at Fonolin. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain that we can convince him. If we want to bring a little gift, we can do that, but I don't know that it'll be entirely necessary, or, it'll just be a nice gesture. It doesn't necessarily have to be completely. We don't have to spend, a week crafting something specific to him.
Sure. You do also have a limited selection of already crafted items. Of items that you've either put together. These are going to be things that are more like uncommon, or maybe a few rare items, just that are kind of like.
Well, could we just bring him a snack?
Certainly. Why don't you go and speak to Flynar or Flynar? I'll say it normal. He's not here. If he's here, I say it with the Flynar. But if you want to go speak to Flynar, you could see if he has any ideas, or you could simply speak to if you think you'd rather do food, you could go and speak to our various cooks and see if any of them have ideas of what food might travel well that you could bring him, food or wine.
I think food's a good idea. No one ever is upset at receiving food.
Unless they're allergic.
So, I'm going to say there's so few of you, let's not split any parties. Do you guys want to go to, your options would be go talk to the archive, to see if he has any suggestions of what gem stalkers are generally known to like. Spoilers, gems. Or you could go to the kitchen to see what they think might make sense to cook for such a person that you could bring that a monster might enjoy. Or, I guess you could technically go to the pub and just ask random people, see if anyone happens to know. So yeah, which of those? Not that one, yeah.
I think I trust in our kobold. I'm willing to just go talk to our kobold cook.
Okay, you go talk to it. Well, you have 3 cooks.
Yeah. I mean, we can talk to all 3 of them, but I'm just saying that.
Yeah,
our kobold cook seems to be worldly to me.
he's very well studied. All right. So yeah, if you guys want to go speak to your cooks, you can go to the kitchens, which is an area you probably don't specifically go to. The kitchens here are, they had really fallen into disrepair, kind of like when the place was falling apart. You guys have restored them. However, there are still a few ovens that don't work great. So as you walk in, I'm going to roll a d8 to see how this goes. Ooh, that's a 1. So as you walk in and there are just like black smoke is just fuming out of one of the ovens. And you do see the high elf baker, Naval Holodon, just kind of this scent is getting into, they don't care. And he's just trying to use a baking sheet to try to waft all of the smoke away from his precious, sort of flowering biscuits. Meanwhile, the turtle, who makes all your sort of crew meals, is just kind of, cooking stuff up and kind of just laughing, being like, yep, you shouldn't be using that oven, it's really bad. I don't know why you're not on this good one over here. Because you were on that, and oh dear. And meanwhile, the kobold is just, looking at both of them and just going through cookbooks and sighing. And sort of sees it and kind of hops down, and the kobold looks over and goes, you got fancies? You got fancies coming? A fancy meal? You need a fancy meal coming?
No.
I mean, perhaps I don't know how fancy the thing is that we need to bring.
What do gem stalkers like to eat?
What she said.
What? Who?
What do gem stalkers like to eat?
He goes over to the, he looks at the turtle, he looks at the high elf. When you hear what he thought you said, you'll understand. He kind of looks, and then he goes for the turtle and goes, hey, guys who stock in gyms, what do they eat? And the turtle goes, well, guys who stock in gyms, I mean, that's pretty gross that they're doing that, but they probably like to eat real greasy stuff, stuff that just kind of comes in a paper wrapper that when they're done with it, they can look right through, look
Can
right
we
through
hear
it at you.
them
Yeah,
saying this?
you hear them, yeah.
Oh no, we meant gym stalkers, not gym stalkers.
Jim, they stalk guys named Jim?
No, gym stalkers.
Oh.
Like precious stones.
Right, precious gems.
They throw precious stones at guys named Jim? Why'd they do that?
No,
Seems a waste.
They have the precious gems.
Yeah, they're stalkers sort of like they're gems, like diamonds and rubies and emeralds.
Right, that's what I said, gems.
Those are what's being stalked.
Would
Not
you
gems,
all
not
would
gems,
just
not-
ignore the 2 scaly creatures?
Not jeans.
You're asking about gem stalkers, these sort of monstrous creatures.
Right?
This is Naval has come over. He sees Fonalin and says,
There you go.
in Elvish to you, he'll sort of say, I hope you're doing okay today. But then he'll sort of turn to the others and say, yeah, so, all right, so, gem stalkers, well, let's see what I know about them. Well, I'm not much of an expert, but I would say that if you're trying to feed them something, I know they like gems, so I could make a cake. Could make a beautiful sort of gemstone cake, cut it with facets, use some sort of sugaring to give it some nice, reflective, lustrous surfaces. You know, a sort of delicious, sweet gem cake if you're trying to sort of woo them to craft a magical item for you.
Do you think that would travel? We might have to be on the road for about a week.
Maybe we could just make I genuinely don't know if this is like a brand or a type of thing, but
Go for it.
like a Fabergé cake,
Well, I mean, you want to sort of, like...
it doesn't have to necessarily be edible.
I don't think we'd be asking the cooks about that then.
Well,
We'd
no,
be
but
asking
I just
the
got the
glass
idea
blowers
from...
or the...
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. You want us to, as an alternative to.
I could... If you're trying to throw down the gauntlet and you're done talking to these two idiots... Hey! We're not idiots, we're just, well, I can't think of a word for what we are, but, I know a lot about guys in gyms, I'll tell you that much. They smell bad. Oh, that gives me an idea for dessert. Hold on.
I don't know.
We're gonna...
Something about that Tortle make it feels like he has a lot of schemes.
The turtle has
Yeah.
schemes? No. He's never fleeced
He's a
anyone.
little-
But the point is, yes, I certainly could make a cake that could travel well if we did have sort of a crystalline shell over it. I think it would be fine.
Excellent. Trust in your abilities.
Well, well then, let me get to it.
But don't use that oven. Use the good
No.
one.
Yes, I'm going to use the good one. In fact, did you hear that? It's straight from the partners. And Kiro goes, "Hey, all right. I mean, that's fine. I'm just making crew meals. So if you guys want soup that doesn't taste as good as who am I kidding? The soup will taste fine over there." He just picks up the whole thing and walks it over, and then Navel's like, "Oh!" and runs over and has to move various baking sheets away because he just slams it down on a burner. Oh dear. And Zogo goes, "So no fancies."
No fancies.
Ba-doop. Reading books. Shaking his head, circling things like, "Oh, that sounds stupid. I guess I'll have to cook that someday," etc. Poor Zoga. It's a hard life. In the meantime, Naval's going to do a roll. However, Naval can have advantage because the idiots will help him. I'm going to leave this up to you guys, if you want, after this roll is made, for me to use any of the hireling hero dice. They don't get the features you guys get of like special uses. All they can do is add the numbers on. So if you want me to use any of their hero dice, or if you want me to, after I make this roll, re-roll it with a heroic inspiration, because you do need this to be pretty good.
Can I use my D12?
You may use your D12 on this hireling roll. Absolutely.
Yep.
All right, so roll the D12. Hit a 12. You can do it.
That's a 1, Philip.
1. So what's your proficiency bonus?
I believe it's 5. Let me double check.
5.
Yes, 5.
So you will be adding 6 to this, because you also for this. You can't. Are you willing to stay in the thing and give him guidance kind of every minute? Are you willing to stay in the kitchen?
Never mind, no.
Okay, cool.
I will.
Okay, will guide. Fair enough. So we'll get a guidance on this too. Big money, no whammies. Big money, no whammies. All right. Great news. You do not need to use a heroic inspiration because I have rolled a bat 20 nat 20, baby. On the D4, it was not a 4, but it was a 3. So that gets us to a 23 plus the 6 from Ashin, which is pretty darn good. That's a 29. And
I
they...
don't like that.
You don't like what?
Well, it's the 29. I
Yeah.
feel much more confident if it was 30.
Well, we haven't had their proficiency bonus on,
Oh, okay.
which is a plus 8. So we are looking at a 37.
Oh.
Would you like me to use
In a
any
row.
of your precious of their hireling dice that you might need to use for something else? You want me to throw 1 in there to try to get you to a 40? Jeremy's worried. I genuinely, because you're doing this, the hireling dice would only be used for any Bastion actions, because you guys, we're not doing a full craft today.
Well, one.
What should
Give
I...
it a D6.
Throw the D6. So it's a 50-50 chance of getting it to a 40. All right. If it's a 3 or lower, this is a whole way... Or it's a... oh, no, it's not. It's a 66% because it's 3, 4, 5, or 6. So 4 out of 6. Okay, so 2/3. It's not bad. A 1 or a 2, this is a waste. Otherwise, it's worth it. 3. To a 40 exactly. All right. So with a 40, you guys step away. And it's like, well, it's literally just in the time it takes you guys, Naval will bake, and he will have good assistance from the ones he lovingly calls the scaled idiots. And they do manage to create a cake that is not only dazzling to behold, but also is going to be fine for a week of travel. Provided, you guys can, and you guys can... Actually, Will, would you give me a... Will and Asheen, this will be a mini crafting situation.
Okay.
Will, could you give me a Smith's Tools roll? Asheen, could you give me a woodworking tools roll? We're just going to make a box. Let's see how good a box is to make. Fonelin, you have Tinker's Tools, right?
Yeah.
Would you give me a Tinker's Tools roll? I think probably for that, you could use, we'll say you can use int to, shape it right. Asheen, let's have you use dex to kind of carve it good. Will, you can use your strength,
Nat 20.
Okay, so what is your, okay, so that's a 30 for you, because you have a 5, it's a plus 10 for int plus your proficiency. So 30 from Fonelin. If I had a, every time I've talked about a beautiful, never mind. Will.
18.
18. Asheen?
I'm gonna... no, we're fine. I'll save. I'll hang on to these. We'll need them later. 19.
19. Okay, so.
Oh, wait, hang on. I should have guided myself.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
You can both throw your guidance on. That's fine.
I still got a nat 20, so.
Yeah, you did guide yourself, yeah. No, you do guide yourself, though, don't you?
Yeah, sure. But
You're the 3 characters with guidance. Throw your guidance on. That's fine.
Add 2.
32,
So
20.
So 3, that brings me up to 22.
Okay, so everyone got over 20. So you guys did, a basic great job. Fonelin had a really... we'll say that Fonelin had a great design. Your guys' fabrication was decent. I'll say this. It is enough to protect it. It's probably not enough to protect it from, a hailstorm of arrows. So hopefully you don't get attacked on the road. Yes, Will?
I had a question. Will does not have teleport, but he does have plane shift. Could I... Plane shift us to, Earth one day, and then plane shift us to the correct location on this plane the next day?
I'm going to say that the journey it's probably just simpler to simply travel in a thing, because the fact that you're going to be away from time, that's also that you guys have to settle into an inn somewhere, and then each have your different sort of facials and thing, all the stuff you do at the spa at the gym, and then you got it's and then you have to do that after you've talked to the guy. So it's it's just we're just gonna say it's not gonna be the full week. It's gonna be a 5-day rather than a 10-day, but it's enough for there to be Bastion actions while you're gone. So with that, Naval has made a cake while you guys did all your preparation. You built a box. Glurk and Reg, they're kind of up to other stuff, but we'll get some Bastion actions for them in a second. So basically you guys are prepped for the trip. The cake is made. The box is constructed. It is not pretty. It's not a pretty box, but it's, in Fonelin, you pictured a beautiful little box. They made a sloppy box. That's okay. The point is,
Floppy boxes.
the sloppy box will still, here's the thing. It may be a sloppy box, but it's still going to get the job done. We're still going to be very happy to have the sloppy. All right. Gotta not Monday's the new Friday. Thanks, Jeremy. The point is,
I brought it with me. I brought the curse with me.
No, I'm fairly certain Friday is not suddenly clean.
Considering the name of Friday, I don't think there's any way
Imagine
that
Friday
they
is
aren't.
just the cleanest game now.
Yeah.
wasn't anything.
With the name like that, no, there's no way.
Arkham, Mass. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So, in any case, into the sloppy box goes the gem cake, and you guys are ready to head out. Lustra says, "Wonderful. I promise I won't go into any more extreme stylistic choices, unless you think I should try them, Funnel, in which case I probably will try them."
I think you should pursue the ones that make you happiest.
Oh, gosh. Well, I just don't know what makes me happy, so that's...
Well, you can only find out by trying new things.
Okay, yes, I'll try everything. I'll try everything. Okay, well, anyway, but while you're gone, we'll also make sure things go well here, so anything you'd like us to do in your absence? Obviously, Glurk and Reg will be here, but how do you want us to sort of conduct ourselves over the next week? So, first question, is anybody going to expend a Bastion D20?
Sure, why not?
Okay. Roll your D20, Will. So you're expending it unless you roll a nat 20, and then you get to keep it.
Are we able to communicate with them while we're gone?
I'm going to say absolutely. You have the means of doing so. All right,
We
Will.
have sending, yeah.
So you get 2 options. You get 2 choices. Guess what? Glurk and Reg are going to give you double Bastion actions here. They'll both expend this as well to get more done. Glurk does not roll a 20. Reg does not roll a 20. But we'll pick 2 for them as well. Asheen and Faudelin are only going to choose 1 to keep it, so that will be a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 actions. 8 Bastion actions. Go ahead and pick yours, and then we'll sort of fill in what the others do.
I think I'll continue on with what I was sort of calling an audible for last week, and I'll just have the pub sort of continue to spread the benefits of amethyst.
Talking up the amethyst. Oh,
The
man.
stone of the season.
You can even... I would say, as like a borrowed thing, you know, Maria After Dark and Velix, they can just come in and talk up about how, like, all the healing properties of amethysts and how, like, they resonate. They're really good crystals.
Yeah.
They can make eggs out of them. Never mind. If you have a sloppy box. Faudelin, what would you like to call for the Bastion action?
Um.
Oh.
So no, go ahead.
I'll also say, you certainly, especially since I may recommend some of the bonus ones from your 2 absent players. You know, always laboratory is always a good call. Workshops are a good call. They'll just keep working on smaller scale things to sell. You could even do the sort of harvest in the meditation solarium of like just gathering materials for making potions and things. Anything.
Yeah. So it's gonna be that unless I may have misunderstood this entirely. Are my 2 people in the garden thing? Are they able to run like meditation experiences that are open to the public as well as our staff?
Well, we'd never come up
sorry?
with that, but meditation experiences absolutely should be an option in there. Let's call that... we will actually call that... Jeremy, what do you want to do? I gotta think about that in the back of my mind for a second. Jeremy, do you have any... But is that what you'd like to have your action be?
If it's not too complicated, yes. Otherwise, it'll be the gathering the herbs.
We'll do it. Jeremy, what do you got for your thing?
I think I'm gonna use 1 turn to just have the smithy be working on
Okay.
like minor projects.
Okay.
And then the other one, maybe Flynar to have like use the archive to investigate like the history of like brooch crafting or like things like that.
Okay,
To,
sure.
like, give us ideas for like
In other words, basically just to kind of like
schematics.
have that side ready to go. Have that side of it like ready to go. Okay, perfect. What's your other one gonna be, Will? Oh, you
Wasn't
told
that
me
2?
2. That was 2.
Yeah.
Just kidding. All right. I think I am going to call the meditation experience. That is going to actually count under trade. So that's going to count more as it does get stuff, but that trade is sort of what we call more like the like you know, outfacing stuff. We probably should also give a trade option to the pub, in fact, Asheen. You know, something where it's like, what happens when, you know, if you guys, like, you know, do like a pub crawl or something, or a, you know, like a tasting day or something. But we'll do
sure.
trade. So what did you want to call it? Meditation retreat or meditation experience? What was the term you used, KJ?
I said meditation experience, but can that like be like a working title? Can I come up with something?
We can come up with something. The Be Well experience. No. We will say the staff will guide visitors in an exclusive luxury meditation retreat, experiential retreat to commune with nature and themselves. Oh my god. This will count as a partial harvest because you will have them harvest various herbs for you while you do it.
Oh, absolutely. I love it.
Plus,
I mean, this is the first step down the road to cult.
so basically what you do is,
I'm on board.
but
Oh,
it's
no, you misunderstand entirely.
it's also, yeah, but it's not only that, it's like a luxury thing. So the great thing is they give you money to do it. You make money from doing it. And you get a little bit of harvesting out of it. Honestly, though, they also get to harvest of it, take that home. That's part of it. But this has the effect of, like, raising your guys, because the trade ones often, like, raise your sort of, like, vibe, like, reputation. You know, that's kind of like the... In fact, I was calling them trade because that's what they call... Okay, so you're doing the new... Faudelin has Maria and... Oh, but they're going to be talking up Amethyst in that so much. Meditation experience, alrighty. And then your other friends. Okay. In the spirit of what Kevin always does, one of them will be laboratory crafting alchemy supplies, because he always does that.
Oh, I was gonna say gamble.
We haven't created a casino yet.
What's the crazy?
I think Reg pubs and use the thing. You know what? Reg is actually going to do a thing that hasn't. I don't think we've ever picked it yet. Reg is going to have the dealers do the main showroom, where this is like a market trends thing of like which of your, basically at this point, which your consumables. So he'll talk up some of them into doing that. You guys, as a group, can decide what their other options are, if you'd like. What their other things that they'll try to do. We haven't done anything in the workshop if you want to keep crafting up just general stuff. We haven't done anything in the private showroom. You could ask Lustra to try to either do a personalized demonstration of items for some prospective buyers, so they might like really up the chance of them doing a sale, or she could do a custom order. That's kind of actually, that's a dumb one to have her do, because I don't know how because basically that's what we literally do as our vote. But I guess if you ever chose that, I don't know what we would do. We would just, I don't know, give you a bonus option for the vote or something. Or you could make two things next week because you got one in the works. You don't have anything going on in the... Nope, that's all the spaces there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, any other requests? KJ has something she wants to say, I can tell.
No, I think Lester should go to the showroom.
Lester should do the private showroom?
Yes.
Okay. We'll have her do a special offer, okay?
I feel like I'm playing a weird reverse Clue.
Reverse Clue.
Well, so there's like Lustra in the showroom.
Yeah.
With the brooch or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. So you have one more choice. You want to do workshop, or do you want to double up one of the ones you're already doing. Technically, you could have another thing happening in either the meditation solarium, the workshop, or the main showroom. You could
maybe workshop.
do a workshop one, or do you want to have all your employees also go meditate when the experienced people aren't meditating to give them advantage on everything?
Oh, maybe that.
Okay. The meditation inner peace. Okay, cool. All right. Well then, we've got a thing ready. So, with that travel montage, you guys set out on the very difficult road to the Lake Jumble Shore, and the Amethyst Mine beyond. So you get there, and you see that there is this very sort of like evocative thing. I'm gonna roll a d20 to see how well the cake did.
You guys set out on the difficult road, but you're 13th level characters, so it doesn't matter.
So you're 13 level characters, you got all sorts of spells, you get there, and if anything really goes bad, you just plane shift away and plane shift to where you want to go the next day. So yes, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna make an Oregon Trail joke about how we all died of dysentery before we got there.
That's not 13th level characters, though. That's not them. The 13th levels never die of dysentery.
I'm pretty sure Greater Restoration cures dysentery, right?
Is there a list? Is that really like a thing?
I think it cures all diseases.
Cures all diseases.
Okay.
You're fine. I like KJ's like, better. I swear to God, if you know that spell well enough and dysentery's listed there. So,
They
all
have
right.
like a list of every known disease. Though.
All right, so.
He already has listed.
Oh my God. How is COVID-19 on this list? All right. Well, you're there. You come with a sloppy box bearing a beautiful jewel inside. Would you like to... do you guys... You can just venture into the cave. You can call out to Stayut, whatever you'd like to do.
All right, I'll take care of the negotiations here.
What's your charisma score, Will?
-1.
All right, so Oshin, what are you doing?
Well, why don't you hold back for just a second?
Fine. Keeping the ace in the hole for later, I see.
Let's keep you to sort of be the closer, you know.
Right.
First, I'd like to cast Distort Value on the Cake.
I'll tell you what. Let's do a distort value on the cake for sure. That spell basically just like does it. Is there a save or a check they make?
I think
there's
can make
some
an investigation check. They can make an investigation check if they want to when they examine it.
Well, what if he figures out? Then he's just gonna be mad and cancel the contract.
Well, I don't know. Well, so first of all, what's your spell save DC?
17.
Okay. Think you're gonna be okay, but
It's also just like the idea is it seems to be twice as expensive as it is.
It's not even that. It's not a trick thing. They can determine its true value.
Right.
So like if they look closely, they'll be like, oh, this isn't as nice, but they don't think you were tricking them. They're just like, ooh, this looks really good. It's like, oh, what a good knockoff bag, you know? Yeah. But they just then know what it really is.
Yeah.
And
I'm not going to. I'm just doing it so it's a better reveal. I'm not gonna like make any claims about the cake.
Okay.
Given how bad the box is I made, I want something when we open it to be much better.
Actually, you need to do this of a spell of 2nd level or higher because the dimensions of the cake, I think it is a 2-foot cake on various sides.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But there really isn't a, does it say double the value? It doesn't say the exact value, does it?
No. You
Doubling
the
it.
object's perceived
Okay,
value,
perfect. Cool.
or reducing its perceived value by half.
I love it. All right, so. And beautifies the cake with magic. Okay. So yeah, as you remove it from the box.
And it lasts for 8 hours.
8 hours. And then, so are you going to call out to Stayut, or are you just going to walk in?
Is it just? It's just a cave. It's just a.
It's
mine?
like a mine entrance, and you see some like broken down like mine-based fencing, and I think
like
it does have the sort of like that like cross-barred kind of thing that often mine
Oh,
entrances
it's just
have.
a much larger sloppy box.
It is, yeah. I have to say, you're pulling
maybe,
something out of
maybe
one.
the box will be great then.
It could be. It could, you know
Most
what?
Things are just sloppy boxes of alternating sizes.
I just
So-
feel like.
So if you've already had a sloppy box, this would be like the sloppy seconds box.
Well, I mean, that's kind of a different thing.
Like a sloppy box within a sloppy box. Is that like slopception?
Well, that also is a different thing. I mean, I have no issues if you ever want to. It's hard to put a sloppy box into. Well,
So all we brought this guy in to get his gems is cake and sloppy boxes.
yep. But you can hide the sloppy box. You could cover it up. Point is, I just it's just always important that everyone knows like there's nothing wrong with this slop. Okay. Point is,
I don't think I can recover from slopception. I think
slopception.
that's it.
Okay.
I
Well,
think I'm broken.
I just know that it goes. The deeper you go, the slower it goes. So, anyway, as we prepare to rub some sloppy boxes together, we're gonna say that your arrival has attracted the attention of Stayut, the Gemstalker, because if there's one thing a Gemstalker is known for, well, they have moderate perception, but I'm gonna say that it extends more when they're sort of this thing. So you guys do hear something sort of coming out, having heard you, and emerging from the mine entrance is this sort of monstrous. It has 6 limbs total, 4 sort of, they all appear similar, but 2 are kind of up at sort of top shoulders, and 4 are sort of back on a sort of it's almost like a centaur, but if it were to sort of rear forward, it would just be like one extended, long, 6-legged kind of serpentine thing. It doesn't really have a mouth, but it does have these burning eyes. And this one has a purplish tint and has jagged amethysts growing out of its body. And it sort of emerges.
So,
I assume.
the mouth does it not eat?
Well, if it's like Andalites, they eat through their hooves to bring Animorphs into.
That's
maybe he
so
just put his
funny.
hand out and
Sucks.
maybe he needs to put his hand in the box to slurp it up.
Slip his hand in the sloppy box.
Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm.
Okay. Well, it's an interesting thing because I know we're talking about how this thing's going to get into the box, but once it gets into the box, can it even eat the cake? Could it even eat it? Could it eat it? Could it? All right, here's what's going to happen. So basically, it comes out, and you guys do have this moment of yikes, it doesn't have a mouth.
Did we know its name, by the way? Did they just say it was a
Stayut. It is called Stayut,
okay.
yeah. So as Stayut sort of sees you sort of here, kind of looks, you all hear telepathically in your minds, like, who are you? Why have you come? He's crawling sort of like upside down on the cave, but then kind of 2 of the legs come down and he kind of, and then
Hello, Stayut. We are here to bring you gifts of
Gems.
gems in good quality, I believe.
And I will open the box and show. It's more of a sort of a treat for you.
at this point, I think I'm gonna say you guys had already removed the box for the because you don't want to show that box. But yes, as Stayut sort of appears.
But we
kind of-
weren't supposed to be ashamed of it, Philip.
Okay, listen, there's ashamed and then there's like really putting it out, just don't. Okay, the point is, it's all about context, okay? Lighting plays a big role. It's broad daylight. Listen, the point is, as Stayut approaches the cake, sort of looks at it, and then in your mind, Stayut says, "This is beautiful, but not a gem.
Ah, well, I was lied to.
I like that Faudelin actually might have thought it was a real gem. That might not be a lie on Faudelin's part.
Yeah.
Is Faudelin think this had been a gem? Or is Faudelin lying to the Chistayut?
No, she thought it was a gem.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. We couldn't bring you a gem of this size itself, so we sort of tried to improvise something that we thought would still be something that you might enjoy.
What is it?
It's a cake. It's an edible sort of sweet treat.
Edible.
It's something that our people like us enjoy quite a bit. It's sort of a special occasion sort of thing.
Pulls out
Bring it
In
to
our
you.
defense, when I thought up this idea, I had no idea you would have no mouth. Do you eat?
You can't just ask a man if he eats.
I am no man. I am a gem stalker.
Okay, can I ask a gem stalker if he eats?
There is no law against asking a gem stalker if he eats. Also, whenever he uses
Okay.
telepathy, the crystals pulse on him. You know, the amethyst kind of. What's fun about this is I didn't realize they didn't have mouths when I was like, yeah, oh, food, that's fun. So this has become a really interesting how do they do it? He says, I appreciate this gesture,
Oh, good.
but I do not eat. I gain sustenance from being near gems.
Oh, do you sort of absorb the energy? Is that sort of what's going on?
I don't take anything from the gem, but proximity to the purple crystals sustains me. I wish I could eat this cake. I haven't
Oh, well, that makes
tasted.
two of us at this point.
I haven't tasted such a thing, or anything.
Do you get anything by being near it?
Fascinating question. He will come up to it. Now that's an interesting question. Now our friend did hit a 40 on this. You guys got Naval to a 40. Or as he would say in High Elvish, 40. So
I mean,
I'll
that's
tell
just,
you what.
That's just common, man. Now you're just doing shit.
None of you can cast spells, right?
Me?
Psych, all three of you, you're the party spellcasters. So, I would like all three of you. Does anyone have a spell that they could use to any spell you want to try to use to put some energy into this or texture or do anything any let's have you guys do. I'm gonna have you guys all make some magic rolls and or cast some spells here to maybe try to imbue this with something. He steps forward.
Oh.
Because I have
Wait.
phantasmal force.
Phantasmal
have-
force. Hold on, let's look up Phantasmal Force. Do you
But it says it's crafting an illusion.
I have.
Okay. Well, because Phantasmal Force can be used to not hurt people, right? It only fears them though, right? It only makes them scared.
Oh, I don't want to scare him.
No, it doesn't. That's a different one.
Okay.
I do. I
Okay.
haven't.
Okay.
What about daylight to make the gem shine?
Go cast daylight. That's gonna help. It's gonna look way better in daylight. Okay, so go ahead. You've done that. Phantasmal Force, I think, is a little more. It is
Yeah, no.
illusory.
Take
Maybe
it
not the
back,
right
I
thing.
never said it.
Keep going. But yes, but Pierce, you have one. What do you got?
Sir Stayut, I have a suggestion here, but I would want to do it with your consent. I have the ability to sort of turn you into another animal that has a mouth, so you could consume this and taste it.
I do not wish to stop being Staiut.
Well, it would just be temporarily. As soon as you taste it, you could go back.
Ah. This intrigues me. You may speak more.
Yeah, so I have the ability to sort of turn you through polymorph. I can turn you into another.
Look at the way it glows. Oh, I can tell this is no gem, and yet I do wish to absorb its energy or consume it, as you've suggested. This gem cake.
Okay, what is this made? Not a gem.
What?
No, he said it was. He said it wasn't a gem, right?
Yes, but he says it looks like a gem, so it's like a gem-looking cake. You know.
Yeah, but what is it if it's not a gem?
It's a cake. It's like, you know, cake,
Okay.
layers of cake with frosting and icing, and then like layers of sugar. You know, like that, like when they do like the crystal sugar. Naval basically made like tons of layers of like perfect crystalline sugar things.
Okay.
Yeah.
For point of clarification for my brain right now, just is, especially with a 40, is this a situation where it is just like it is very clearly a cake that has like been made to have gem accents, or is this one of those like reveal videos where you cut it and it's a cake?
I'm gonna say it. I am gonna say it. It honestly, people would think that it was actually people might actually think it was a giant amethyst, but someone who's a gem stalker would probably know that it's not. Like, he can sense that it's not a gem. But it's very good. With a 40, yes, it is. This would confuse people on Is It Cake. Mikey Day would get to do all his shenanigans. I've never seen Is It Cake, but I'm amusing. Oh man, did you post that into Twitch chat, Jeremy? Or wait, can you?
You can't post images.
You can't post it. It was just Twitch chat. That's a. Did you just
It's
Google Is It Cake amethysts?
I literally just googled gem cake.
Well, everyone Google gem cake, because yikes. Speaking of a sloppy box, and anyway,
It is upsetting.
So, he is very intrigued by your idea to polymorph him. Yes, Lachine. He is very intrigued. So,
I could even make it something that's sort of equivalent to your size.
yes. I accept this provided it is temporary.
Sure. And you can sort of, well, you won't be able to talk anymore.
I can't talk now. It's just ringing in your mind or whatever, yeah.
I don't know if you'll still have that. But I just, whenever you've taken a bite or two or you've finished the cake, I'll just turn you back.
When I want you to turn me back, how many arms will I have? 6,
have
like
2?
a normal creature? 2. That's a bummer. Well, tell you what, when I'm
Just give
done...
me a thumbs up.
2 claws, I will give you a thumb up, yes.
All right.
When I'm done, I shall pounce onto that sloppy box. Okay. So, he is a CR5 creature.
Okay.
So I believe your spell can do any
Polymorph, I think, can do CR5 and below.
yeah, any beast of a CR5 or below. Yeah, so there's some big beasts.
I was thinking like an ape.
Giant ape, or maybe giant ape might be harder. Just an ape.
Yeah. Just so he still has the ability to move and stuff like that, as opposed to doing like a more like quadruped or something like that.
He might be more comfortable as a quadruped.
Okay, then we can do like
he's used to walking on 4 legs. He's just got extras on top.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. He's normally on 4 with like 2 reared up doing this, but he could do
Then
that.
let's go brown bear, since they're omnivorous.
Brown bear. Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
All right. So you turn Staiut into a brown bear. Does every single stat change?
Let's see what the new spell says.
Retains alignment. Okay.
Retains alignment, personality, creature type, hit points, and hit dice.
Okay. So I will use I will use the brown
Other than that,
bear's. I will use the brown bear's intelligence, which is -4. As he tries to like see, first of all, because he has absolutely no sense this is not as beautifully valuable as it is. He does spend a moment freaking out. Actually, brown bears, you get a +1 to wisdom, but he rolls a 4, so he does freak out for a moment, like.
Okay. It's okay. It's alright, Stayut. Get shot. Don't bite your hands. Don't bite your hands. Use those. You can put the cake in your mouth.
He instead just starts biting the cake.
That'll work too.
Fondant. And he begins to just gobble down the amethyst cake. That 40 is going to go a long way here. And the daylight spell Morthwill did also just makes this he's like kind of dazzled by the lights off of it as he eats it. And the bear eats the cake. Fondle, is there anything you'd like to do while this is happening? Sheen, you're obviously concentrating on the spell. Morthwill, is daylight concentration?
Let me check. No, it's just duration 1 hour.
Perfect. All right, Fondlin, you want to do anything?
No, she's probably looking at like a sunbeam and getting distracted.
Perfect. She's probably just the daylight is also shining on other stuff, and so it's like, oh, cool, spiderweb. All right. So the bear eats the cake. The bear very much enjoys the cake, but the bear finishes the entire cake, but does not give you a thumbs up because he's still rooting around, just like.
I'll say, like, based off my understanding of like what he might be going through, I will just drop the spell. Welcome back, Sayut.
That was very strange. Very pleasant. That is what creatures with mouths get to experience. How are you all?
Oh, taste.
How are you all not just constantly putting things in your mouth all the time?
Well, that's what a lot of us attempt to do.
Wow.
I'm fond of gobbling down things all the time.
That was very pleasant. I feel that is what the gems would taste like could I consume them.
Well, I'm glad we were able to bring that experience to you.
I wish I had a mouth to eat more gems. But I do appreciate it.
Perhaps then, given sort of that we've gotten off on this great introduction here, we can sort of explain why we're here.
Oh.
Why we've come to see you.
Ah, yes. You brought me this gift, but you have a reason. I see. What is your reason?
Well, the gift was more of just, we were just going to bring that to you. It's rude to come to someone's home without bringing a gift.
Oh, I've never done it. I did not know that. I suppose I am rude. How will continue?
We're in search of these purple crystals that you have within your mind. And we were hoping we could come to some sort of agreement as to how we might reasonably and sustainably and responsibly harvest them.
I see. You wish to mine my precious amethysts, and you have bribed me with this cake and the chance of having a mouth. And the only way I'll get to have a mouth again and taste more of these gem cakes is if I agree to your plan.
We can do it that way if you like. Yeah. If you'd
are...
like us to keep bringing you cakes, we can and turning you into creatures with mouths, we can do that. Yeah, sure.
This is extortion, but I will accept because I've got to get my temporary mouth on more gem cakes.
Yeah, we can bring them in sloppy boxes too.
We can.
Sloppy boxes.
Do I need to use my temporary mouth on a sloppy box?
I mean, you can do what you like, but
What is a
the
sloppy
box is not
box?
really. Well, I'll pull up and.
We've been wondering
box.
that.
It's
for
just sort of a
while,
box
it
that
seems.
wasn't my best works.
Oh, I
Or
see.
You do not need to
Despite
consume this. No,
despite it being
you can if
sloppy.
you like.
Well, you have entrapped me with the sensory pleasure of eating a gem cake.
Well, that's what I mean. I'm glad you enjoyed the experience. It wasn't really attempted to be a bribe, but if that's a meaningful agreement for you, if that's a meaningful bargain, I'm happy to agree to it.
No, I have been extorted. I understand.
Hey, did you guys know there's a bunch of really beautiful amethysts in here?
You don't say, Funnelin. That's
No,
wild
really,
because
look around. They're so beautiful.
you know that's so wild because we're sort of searching for amethyst.
I
could
thought I knew we were looking for something. Oh wow.
It's
Yes.
funny how things work out that way, ain't it?
Yeah. Well, anyways, I'm glad you liked the cake.
Yes. The cake was great. I will do anything to get another cake and a mouth with which to eat it.
Oh, we can keep bringing you cakes if you like.
Yes. Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
that is how you're extorting me. I've already agreed to your terms.
Oh no, it can just be for fun. Oh my gosh, think of all the cakes you can try.
So you don't also need access to my mine?
No, we
we
definitely
definitely
not.
do.
Oh.
What a
we
good
are sure.
idea.
Oh, I see. You're that insidious kind of criminal who acts like we're friends while secretly exploiting me. And yet, you've given me a taste for free and now I'm hooked.
Wait, we're not friends?
No, well, are we? I'd like to be friends. Do
Oh my
friends
God, me too.
do friends typically extort one another?
No, who's extorting you?
You.
No,
Oh.
I would never.
Faudelin, go ahead and give me a charm or a persuasion roll. What do you have to persuasion?
+10.
Okay.
29. And then guidance. 31.
Okay. That guidance is a stretch, but we'll allow it. That's fine, because Faudelin was just doing this the whole time and all, just whispering nonsense. It is, yeah.
It's always, yeah.
Well, I'm... Okay, we are friends. Okay. Well then, this is not extortion, I guess, but...
Just so you know, it might not always be us that comes, but a cake and a mouth will arrive for you every single time.
Very well. I accept. You may contact the miners.
Oh, but we can get together, like, as often as you like, maybe once a month, and we can make a whole day of cake eating.
Yes. 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 That thing you've said. Asheen, you could in fact, I know it would take some time, you could do a teleportation circle here.
That is sort of gonna be my plan. Is
Yeah.
I'd have to come here every day, so I could bring
Well-
it for at least. You have to do it every day for a year to make it permanent,
Oh.
and that's fine. I can do that every day to bring him a cake and a mouth for the first year.
Well,
Just pop over. And
Yeah. All right. Well, very good.
but I can get us back by teleportation circle too, because there's definitely permanent ones within the city. But it sounds
If
like we have
you-
so many ways to get back.
I could set this place as my sanctuary for Word of Recall, and then we could recall to here, and then you could teleport us back to a circle in the city, and that would be a day travel. We could do it in an hour.
Oh, and we could do that every day for a year,
Right.
and then we just until we have a permanent one. Yeah, that
Yes.
seems fine.
You guys, this is so clever. Did you realize this is the amethyst mine we've been looking for?
Oh, you don't fucking say. That's so
really?
wild.
Yeah.
God, Funnelin, you just happened to stumble upon everything
It's
for us.
so pretty here.
Following the inner workings of your noggin are forever astounding to me.
Are you guys hungry?
Case in point.
Always? Yeah. Unfortunately,
There was
yeah.
cake here.
Yeah, just unfortunately the
just missed
sloppy
it.
box only had room for the cake. We didn't put any other provisions in it.
Right.
Hmm.
Well, we can always just teleport back home.
Should I have let you have some of the cake? Was it rude
No,
of
no,
me
that
to
was-
eat it
No,
all?
no,
No, that was just for you.
That's exciting. That's very exciting. Well, very good. Well, if I had a mouth, I would eat more cake. Perhaps even that sloppy box. But until you arrive with more cake, I shall go and begin preparing the mines for harvesting. You may inspect them if you'd like. And if you guys want to go down... Yeah, go ahead, Will.
Oh, I was saying I need to set up word of recall. It takes one action, but I have to designate a space.
Absolutely. There, you can go down into the mine and find like a perfect spot for it, you know.
Right, okay.
And wherever you decide, I'll go with you. So whatever spot you pick, I'll begin to make. We'll find a spot together where we'll set the same spot where I make the teleportation circle and it's your recall.
Perfect,
Cool.
perfect.
All right. Well. Perfect.
See, I told you he'd like the sloppy box.
In that
I
case,
think I think it was the sort of sweet cream inside that he liked more than the sloppy box itself.
Oh, it's a package deal, ain't it?
I'm gonna try to take some certain things literally. I don't know that the gem cake had any cream inside of it. That might have been probably more like a gel.
No.
Like a
No,
jelly filled.
I imagine there was probably cream on it. I mean, the cream was on the cake, which was inside the box. So the cream was inside the box.
I don't. That's what I'm saying. A gem cake. I don't know that it would have had cream in it. I think it more would be like a jelly filling. So
Definitely would have been a cream filling.
there would have been. Just Fodlin would have insisted.
Well, no, a jelly filling wouldn't have kept the cake together. It would have been slipping and sliding on it, so it would have had to been cream.
Interesting. He had the sugar paneling couldn't have done it.
Well, and any kind of frosting is going to have a cream element to it.
Understood.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, on that note, you guys have done this. You said with the miners, we can hand wave that you're going to get the deal because you've negotiated this with him by giving him sweets. So, KJ, this was your vibe all along. Let's see how everybody did back home.
I mean,
On the
that-
way
you say-
back, Fauna
Yes.
was just gonna be like, did you guys know that all the things you guys were saying about the sloppy box we made together could have been misconstrued as a sexual innuendo?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I had no
No,
idea.
it's actually a really
I'm gonna roll
funny
for
thing.
whether or not
Oh,
Will
okay.
is legitimately surprised.
Um,
Oh
I
dear.
will say.
Do you think we offended him?
I don't think he realized.
Oh, I
What?
don't think so.
Would have been laughing, I'm sure.
I mean, I know I would have.
I'm not sure. He didn't. I don't know. He didn't strike me as a chuckling sort of fella. You know.
There was so much joy in his voice. I'm surprised you couldn't hear it.
I can sense that he liked the cake, but I don't know that he's really a jokester. Is sort of what I'm saying. But we'll have to get to know him better. I didn't spend that much time with him, but I'm going to be spending every day with him for the next year at least.
Could feel the vibe
Yeah.
coming off of him. He was definitely a really funny guy if you get to know him.
Well, I'm excited to, because I trust your intuition, Monolin.
And how lucky that he lives in a amethyst mine.
Just what luck that we just sort of happened to trip over a mine with a guy that we brought a cake for.
We should bring more people cakes.
Well, on that note,
We could have a bakery.
you do. A guy literally did this. He
We
bakes
do
cookies
have a
all day.
bakery.
So, as you guys head back, we're going to make some rolls for your team. Jeremy has already heroically used his D12. KJ and Pierce, if either of you want to call out that you want to throw your D12 on top of a roll, you may do so. Before I make it, I'm going to announce each one. The first one is going to be for... What's that?
I
Or
use
your-
the D12, so I use the D12.
You use the D12 for... Oh, you use the D12 for the cake. Right.
Yeah.
Jeremy, you used your Bastion. So if anybody wants to use a D12 for the hireling rolls I'm about to do. Also, one hireling roll has the Gallenrian Saber granted inspiration for a full reroll. And you still have several of their dice we can throw on top, so you have everything but the D6 left. So I'm going to go in the order they were called out. Would anyone like to use it for? I know KJ probably wants to use it for her meditation experience. Figured as much. Okay, we'll do that first then. So I'm going to roll a d20. So roll your d12.
Okay.
What'd you got?
6.
6. So we'll add 11 to this, plus they're rolling at advantage because you did the meditation thing. Roll advantage, so it's 11 plus, so it's plus 19. We're doing.
Rad.
I have rolled a 1 and a 2. Should we use the heroic inspiration on this? Is that okay, team?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
That is a natural 20.
Yeah.
So 20 plus 19 is 39. Should we put any die guarantees that you get to 40?
I mean, can it be my die as opposed to?
No, you guys. I can't let
Okay.
you guys use your dies on this stuff. You guys are gonna have a lot of.
Use their D4.
Use the D4 since we only need one. Just use the D4.
Okay. A 42.
All
Okay, so we'll get to the meaning of these in a second. Meditation, experience 42. For the pub, Jeremy, are you going to use your D12 on one? I'm just tell you what. I'm just going to say them, and if you like the sound of one, we'll throw your D12 on. Okay, here goes the pub. The pub is a 25. Good, obviously. And again, we've used their D4, so if you ever want me to throw one on top of any of these rolls that they're important enough to you, you still have their bigger ones. Okay, we are moving on from the pub
What are
to
the other ones?
we're the smithy. So the smithy, the archives, laboratory, showroom, and private showroom.
I'm gonna throw this on to this current one, the pub.
Pub. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and roll your d12.
10.
10. All right, so that is 10. That's plus 16. Okay, so a 10 plus 16 plus their 8 is plus 24 to this roll. At advantage. An 18. 18 plus 24 is 42. So the pub... Oh, wait, I already rolled the pub.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
was just adding it onto the pub roll.
it's technically a 41 for them, but same difference. Okay. All right. Want to put anything on top of that, or you're good with a 40? Save it for others that might be bad. All right. Next up is Flynar doing the research. That is a 23. Happy with a 23. All right. Moving on to...
Can we throw their D10 on?
Want to throw their D10 on? I've rolled a 4. That does get them to a 27, so you've increased by 1. Next up is the laboratory. A 20.
I'm not sure.
Lab
How
20.
many more of these do we have?
You have the smithy and the 2 showrooms. Smithy
okay,
is
let's save
next. Smithy's next. I'd do lustras in the showroom.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah,
plan.
I'd go big
I
on
think-
that one. Smithy's a 22. Or spend some if I just roll terrible on here's the main showroom. This is where your main sellers are just kind of analyzing trends, doing some promotions. A 19 is a 27, okay?
Oh, fine. Great.
All right, so now we're going to come up for Lustra.
And I just say right now, if this is the final roll, and this is the thing, just everything we got left. Everything we got left on this.
All right, 16 plus 8 is 28 plus 4 on the D8, 4 on the D12, 8 on the D20. So those all... 9 on the D20, so that is 17. So 17 plus 16 is 33. Plus there is a 41. All right. So... with success, so the smithy, the lab, the showroom, the archives, these are all good success. The archives got to a 27, the showroom got to 27. So Flynar is going to have some good intel for you on the Just like he'll have some like, yep, here's all the research you were looking for on different shapes of cuts of brooches, and obviously Faunelin will have some some good gem cutting jeweler making tools for that. But you've got like the baseline. Work hasn't been wasted. Your smithy in your lab, you guys created the normal, just carry stuff around. The showroom, they have analyzed some trends. Numbers are up. You guys are doing okay financially. Now let's get on to the big ones. The pub. Amethysts are all anyone's talking about.
Yeah.
Riva has really done a good job of, just like subtly seeding this, and she will even probably remark to you, Riva Irons will probably say, I didn't realize people were this, like, status obsessed.
Oh.
Like,
Yeah, pretty much. We're really going to be capitalizing on that.
No, you don't, like, I made up a lie that this one guy, like, Lord Mage, like, was really into amethysts and was going to be wearing them. All like, he'd already been, like, buying them. Somehow that reputation got back to him that he went and bought a bunch of amethyst rings and he's been showing them off. So, like,
wow.
Like, he like, acted like he had been. He acted like he's the trendsetter.
Okay, well done.
Okay.
Succeeded beyond my expectations.
Yeah, well, we rolled a 41 on it, so it was pretty high. Lustra will come and tell you that she will say, hi, everyone. Apologies for my appearance. She's wearing exactly what she always wears. I just wanted to let you know that in your absence, as per your as per the suggestion of actually Reginald told me to do this, I did sort of make a special offer to a few of our prospective buyers and sort of showed them some of your Reg basically let me sort of use his masterpiece, his falcon masks that they could fly around to sort of show what we're doing. So the point is our reputation has risen a lot, and there actually are now many people who are asking if they can come and simply try out various magic items as an experiential situation. So we actually now have a waiting list for our showroom.
Oh, excellent.
And I'm trying to put people who
How
might...
long is the list?
Well, the list at this point, because I acted like we had very few selections, and I said we could probably only get away with doing a few of these a week. So the list has about 20 people on it, but that's going months ahead. So basically we've manufactured exclusivity just because we literally can't do what they want. So we have we technically have a months long waiting list.
Oh no, we should get on that list before it's too late or we can't go inside.
Faunelin, you can always go inside.
Oh, I would never cut in line.
Right, but it's your line.
No, I don't have a line. Do I have a line?
Oh,
Not
Faunelin.
anywhere on your face.
Oh, Faunelin, this is our building. We can come and go as we please. It's just like walking in and out. You're not cutting in line. It's your room.
No, my room is the garden.
Speaking of which,
We
Did
share
you-
everything here.
Faunelin, did you kind of absent-mindedly suggest to Maria and Velix that they create some kind of meditation experience for the public?
Oh yes, we've been talking about that during the bonfires lately. It's been a real fun thought experiment.
Oh, okay. I should come to one of those. Because they said that they said
Seems
that
like the light.
I do. I like light, but they happen at night, right?
Yes, but the fire's really big.
Well, that's good because I don't like the dark. But they said that you said to do it, and I didn't want to argue with them because since you weren't here, and I didn't want to do ascending and waste my time. So if I assumed, I just wanted to check if this was right. But also, it wound up making a lot of money, and well, you can come and sort of speak to them if you'd like, and if you want to go, they're sort of sending out the last people. Velix, who's this kind of very sort of ethereal, sort of siren, fey creature, is kind of ushering out this last mage. A woman who's sort of just looking like... Also, the woman who's coming out looks like so refreshed, but as Velix is sending her out, she just goes, "Thank you for coming. Be well. Gills." "Hi, Fonolin.
Hi.
Guess what?
What?
The meditation experience was such a success. Or as Mario likes to say, Mario comes and goes, success. It's funny because I'm a vampire, but I don't actually drink blood. You guys know that, right? I just drink the...
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, of course, Fonolin, because you know everything. Your intelligence is very high. I'm talking to these two little ones.
No, we don't really talk that much.
You're a vampire.
Yes, and I'm a vampire, but don't... Hey, excuse me? Hey, Will, is that your name?
Yes.
Right, I can read your mind. I'm just kidding. Or am I? No, I've just been told that's everyone refers to you all the time, and they said you're the one with the weird beard. I'm just kidding. Everyone likes your beard. No one disparages it. I'm totally joking. My name is Maria, and I am a vampire, but guess what, Will? She's like kneeling down to talk to you. I'm not going to drink your blood. Do you know why?
Because you don't drink blood.
Exactly.
Oh, you're
What?
catching on quick, Will.
What?
I
That's
do
so
this.
fun. And also, if I drank blood, I wouldn't drink gnome blood because I'm sure it tastes kind of weird. I'm just kidding. I'm sure it's great. I'm just kidding. I actually am not sure because I've never tried it. I'm just kidding. I have drank gnomes before. I'm just kidding. But something you should know is I only drink Queen's Bleeding Roses, and that actually can sustain me.
Just one type of rose.
The Queen's Bleeding Rose, and I grow them here. And if I ever run that, I have to go just like on a killing spree and drink a lot of blood. I'm just kidding. I don't need that much to survive. I'm just kidding. I do, but I wouldn't have to kill a bunch of people for it. Fonolin
Probably
gets
just
it.
one large person.
That's so true, Fonolin. You're so funny.
Thank you.
Are these the two who said women can't be funny? Because I don't like that. I might have to drink their blood just on
Did
principle.
you guys say that?
Why do you guys
No,
keep
I'll
saying
say
women
that.
aren't funny? I don't know. Just kidding. No one said it. I just thought it was funny. Just kidding. People have said it, but not you two. Just kidding. Maybe you have said it before. And if that's true, I will drink your blood. Just kidding. I won't even if you said it.
You know, Maria, I find
She's
you
my favorite.
perplexing, but not because you're a vampire, just because you're perplexing,
Mm.
I think.
Oh, you're funny. Just kidding. It's not as funny as Fonolin. Okay. Velix goes, she just wanted to make the success joke. Oh, that's right. Just kidding. No, I haven't been waiting all day. Just kidding. I have. Well, just kidding. Not all day, but for, a good bit of it. Those are my fangs. Just kidding. Those are for show. Just kidding. They're not. These are what I would actually use to drink your blood. Just kidding. I won't drink your blood. Just kidding. Velix goes, anyway, remember how you were talking a lot about amethysts and how important they are now, Fonolin, because you made that amethyst? And then I guess you went on a trip to an amethyst mine, which you probably told me, but I forgot.
Oh my god, so did I. It was such a surprise when we got there.
Oh, that's really fun. So you got to experience planning to go to one, and then you'd forgot. So, like, seeing it was a beautiful thing?
It was. It was
Fonolin?
so cool.
Oh, I'm so happy for you to experience that.
Thank you.
And I'm also happy for everyone who came and experienced our meditation experience. Have you come up with a new name? I don't need to know it now. I'm not here for branding. I'm here for actual connections.
We'll figure it out tonight at the bonfire.
That sounds perfect. In any event, we really talked up amethysts. I think you said they were supposed to be protective, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we just talked about how amethysts are protective, which isn't a lie. They do offer protection. We just indicated they offer more protection.
Okay.
That is true. I didn't say anything like, this is the vampire again, I didn't say that, like, emeralds offered more protection.
Oh, good.
She looks at the gnomes. Or did I? Just kidding, don't worry.
Right?
These two are
Honestly, I'm
funny.
not sure anymore.
These two are funny. They don't get it,
Will
but they're
gets
funny.
confused easily. He's confused by 2 out of the 3 people in this room.
There are 4 people in this room.
There are 5 people in
You're
this room.
There are 5
You're
people
not
in this
counting
room.
me.
He's not counting himself. Just kidding. He always counts himself. Just kidding. He doesn't know that he can count on himself. Just kidding. But Will, you can count on me. Just kidding. You can't.
In Faunelin's head, there's like a threshold for the garden, and the three women are on one side, and the two are on the other side.
I like
so
that they've also just like shifted that. Like, how are we standing outside the door? Well, Maria and Velix. All right.
Right. I'm gonna go carve some wood. But it was a pleasure speaking with you.
Oh, is that what they're calling it now? Just kidding. I know it's not. Just kidding. Actually, I don't know. I don't go out very much, so maybe that is what they're calling it. And I wouldn't know. Just kidding. I would know. I still go out. Only at night. Just kidding. Sometimes in the day. Just kidding. I wouldn't go out in the day unless it's foggy and cloudy. Just kidding. I might if I had an umbrella. Just kidding. Wouldn't risk it.
Will just starts walking out of the room.
They're funny. They're funny. Those two are funny. Yeah.
Oh my god. I think that's my favorite character you've ever played.
Really? It's honest. Go ahead.
It's up there with Tyrone.
Wow, Tyrone. The Pierce doesn't know about Tyrone. Tyrone Chance. I'm just
lucky.
I'm just literally doing the Kristen Wiig,
I was just about
Judy
to say,
Grimes,
this is
but
Kristen.
but not nervous. It's the twist, but it's that she's not doing it out of fear. She's just doing it to like fuck with everyone.
Yeah, I believe that is like the newer version of like Mean Girling.
Yeah. Oh my god, you look terrible. Just kidding. You look cute. Well, just kidding. You don't look cute. You look pretty. Just kidding. I would never judge you by what you look like. Just kidding. I would. Just kidding. I would, but I wouldn't tell you. Just kidding. Yeah. Well, very good. Well, everybody, thank you so much. So we're gonna wrap it up there as Fondlin, as the gentlemen are expelled from the garden, and the very
For our own good.
the very just tidy garden. It's a lady garden. Anyway, the point is,
Not sloppy.
and
Not
not
sloppy?
sloppy. Not sloppy, but here's the trick. They would never judge like a sloppily done garden, but they don't have them. Not them. They're
Never.
pristine. No judgment.
Box of swords.
Well, yeah, or like if you brought a box and like, they're all beautiful, but these three, Jesus Christ, it's too much. So, thanks for watching. Apologies for watching. Sophia, I know there was some stuff about like you're happy you don't have merch, the sloppy box stuff. I'm gonna have to talk to Lauren
No,
about
the
making
sloppy box T-shirt is happening.
You know,
I said I'm gonna start a
Yeah.
T-Public tonight.
we'll probably have to get on that. Lauren's gonna be into it, so thank you. Yes, a big thanks to Galanorian Saber for giving us that critical thing. You really changed the that wouldn't even hit 30 had that not been, wouldn't have hit 35 even without that. So big time. Yes, Ashin.
There's just one thing that I just want to bring up that I thought was really funny because I was playing this whole time. I was like, okay, how am I going to convince Philip that I can cast Modify Memory and a cake would be a fair exchange in someone's mind for an amethyst mine? That I would use Modify Memory to rewrite their memory. I was like, no, it's fine. I didn't have to go that dark of a route with it. I didn't have to.
No, I didn't have to go Salieri style bard. I really like the idea of. You go ahead.
Just have to be someone's friend.
I just more like the idea that he's like, I've never eaten anything before. Well, I just ate something, so I guess go ahead and extort me. You win. I'm addicted to food now. Thank you.
What's funny is I know I brought it up before. Like that is literally an Animorphs. That is what happens with the Andalites. Is that they basically just become tourists that travel to Earth to turn into humans, so that they can experience taste.
Wow.
That is like they're like taste tourists.
Wow. That's basically the sport.
Cinnabon is
Also,
brokered
look up what the gem stalkers look like. Here, I should probably pull a gem. Here, I'm gonna pull the image of a gem stalker over here for you guys. Just so I'll pull this onto the just so you see that's what they look like. If you guys look on Twitch, you'll see that's their sort of.
Oh,
Okay.
that's actually much better than I thought.
I kind of probably wasn't explaining it right. The idea is that their lore stuff, which I'm not fully keeping for this, but it's like if they are some kind of creature that is like it's connected to Gem Dragon. It's if an aberration is
now that I see it.
destroyed by a Gem Dragon's breath weapon, they become this like 6-legged kind of dragon form weird thing they just work for the dragon. Yeah.
I was kind of picturing like a water bear with arms.
It's not
Yeah,
that, but it's kind of more slender and snaky and kind of.
I was a little more in the arachnid sort of thing when you started talking about like 6 arms.
I should
kinda got
have
more about
showed that picture earlier. That was a me mistake.
But seeing that, as soon as you showed that, I went like, "Oh yeah, that's a gem dragon thing." Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But well, great. So yeah, you guys are gonna feed him, and you now give Naval a new sort of thing. And the nice part is the cakes don't all have to look that good, you know.
No, now it's about taste.
Now it's about flavor. He can set up. Honestly, here's the other thing. As much as the idiots, as Naval calls them, like, go ahead. I mean, obviously you can have like Zogo do some like real fancy stuff, sure. But like go ahead and have Kiro just like send him like some like a fish stew or something.
Yeah.
He'll enjoy some flavors. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it does sound like for the next year, Will and I will at least be making a daily trip over there to just say
a quick
hi.
early morning transfer run, and
Hey, we'll just drop off some food.
When you do that,
we'll
and
just sit and have a meal with him and then come back.
Yeah, no, and when you pick up the amethysts,
yeah,
so it's like you don't even have to. Yeah, you'll magically pick up the day's amethyst stores, so you don't have to like pay for. Yeah. Well, that's a good situation. Well, very good. Sophie also wonders, how is this game just as silly as Third Time's the Charm and Theme Party? How? This surprise?
I think that's
we're all
the goal of
naturally stupid.
Mondays, right? I think that's the goal on Mondays.
All right. Well, this was a delight. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We have some other games in the channel, but I'm going to go ahead and say this just as a kind of like not get too into it. I got some stuff going on. I'm still out of town. I'm really glad we were able to play tonight. I cannot really guarantee games sort of as much as I often do. So instead I will say that I do think you're probably not going to see Deck of Long Lost Things until the new year. Probably Wednesdays will probably be off just kind of until then. Maybe we'll randomly pop on, but that one's probably kind of not going to be here for a while. But Fridays, we will be trying to do our Arkham Mass Preludes. Our first one this past Friday was really fun. If you haven't checked it out, strongly recommend seeing that if you're going to be watching the Arkham Mass game. We did our first one was set in 1692. And it was Lauren and Zane, and it was very interesting, kind of different sort of creepy vibes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is the idea that each one of these is going to like be a different time period every week?
No. The prequel games that we're doing to get back into it are games that will do that and like kind of establish certain things in the history of our version of Arkham.
That's what I meant. It's like every week until we get to
until we start the actual modern day one. Yeah, so like this one, the next one we do, I haven't decided, I have an idea for a Revolutionary War era one. But we also might, because I don't know how many we'll have. And also, we may not start, like, we may still do some prequels even into January. Have an idea for that. I'd really like to do a 1925 one. Maybe more than one 1925 one. That is, 100 years before the game starts, because next year's 2025. 100 years ago was the Roaring Twenties. That's wild. And then I also kind of really want to do a 1975 one, because some stuff was really going on 50 years ago in this town, too. So, I'm so glad it's supposed to be that, like, since you were watching in Merkshire, that's kind of supposed to be the vibe, and I think we're going to kind of have that. So this Friday, I hope to do another one of those, no guarantees. Sunday, I hope we're back with more Monster the Ravaging. Had to take off this past week, but would love to play that if we can, because it's always a really good time to see Pierce and Ka doing that nonsense. Then a week from tonight, I would love to be back with another Theater of the Mind MEI, because this game really is, like, giving me great stuff, and whenever I can just, talk about sloppy boxes and boxceptions and things. It's a good time.
Slopception.
Slopception.
Boxception is like...
wouldn't have been upsetting.
Slopception. Oh my god, Slopception is really good. I'm gonna slopcept because I want to slopcept someone. I gotta slopcept this idea right into your sloppy box. So anyway, go to our Discord to interact with us, our YouTube to watch old episodes, the wiki to see all these games intersect and interact. Follow everyone on their socials. Anybody want to plug any
The sloppy box, perhaps.
Yeah. Don't you gotta you gotta routinely plug that sloppy box, or otherwise it's...
At every opportunity, you know.
Wow. I said plug and wasn't happen, but then yeah, Jeremy's just kind of leaning forward. I also apologize. I also thank you for all watching the last stream we've done on Twitch before we finally are banned. Kind of a shock. Liv's not here for it, but so it goes.
Yeah, I mean, I like, it is funny that like the people that you would think would have caused the banning aren't here.
Yeah.
That is us. Just the sheer amount of just box per second we did.
Welcome to Box Talk, everybody, where we're talking about exactly what you think we are. Slops per second, baby. SPS. How many slops can we get in every second? Oh yeah.
Like
slopping around. All right,
so
anybody?
I'm gonna make my recommendation
Please.
real quick.
Oh God,
my movie.
it's gonna be some filthy porn. I know it is.
It is.
Oh,
it is gonna be. It is such an like the opposite of today, but in that it's so much more wholesome and quirky. But the first thing came to me. It's not cake. It's very pie centric.
Yeah, that doesn't have any connotations. Please.
No, I
continue.
know, but I know. But I'm just like I don't have a movie that came to mind that was just like as cake involved. But this is very involved with pie. But it's Waitress.
Oh,
I don't know that
it's a
I've
great movie. Yeah, very good.
Waitress is a fantastic movie. It's very sweet and charming. It's delightful. It is turned into apparently a fantastic musical as well.
Sarah Bareilles. I wonder if that will be. I'm sure they'll make a movie of the musical at some point.
I'm shocked they haven't already, because that is the natural cycle of things. But it is a wonderful movie with Kerry Russell and Nathan Fillion, and you should watch it just to honor the director, because it was the last thing she made before she was murdered.
Yeah,
so.
Which is really genuinely sad and terrible. Yeah, go ahead, KG. Were about to say something hilarious?
No, I don't know. Just the idea that one of these days, Chris is gonna have no choice but to just recommend a porno afterwards.
Yeah, I guess I gotta Jesus. This is a bummer on a lot of levels. I guess I gotta recommend Sloppy Box Stepmoms 19. Just as that's the one where they do. Shockingly, that's the one where they do go to an amethyst mine.
Yeah,
that was something. They do a slopception. They really talk about a slopception a lot.
Oh my God! Hang on.
That was a
I'm gonna look up. I'm gonna look up Inception porn parodies right now.
Oh, I really thought you were. I thought you were like, guys, just as a joke, I'm gonna look up Sloppy Box Stepmoms 19 just to see as like a hilarious joke. KJ, you have purple fingernails.
Oh, because I'm warm. They're blue when I'm cold.
I know you've talked to me about that so much, but I've never seen them in action.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah, if I had like cold water, maybe I can like.
She's talked about these a lot. These are cool. Oh, Sophia said, "Whoa." Sophia's like, that's yeah. Oh my God, it's blue because your finger's cold. That's wild, and it's turning purple before our eyes.
Yeah.
If you're really hot, does it turn?
Mooncat?
If you're really hot, does it turn red?
No, this color when it's its warmest, the purple is a little lighter than this.
Gotcha.
Is this Mooncat, KJ?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Well, Sophia,
you know that brand.
Sophia, look up Mooncat.
great.
Apparently, there you go.
Yeah, Mooncat is the brand. They do a lot of cool stuff, and they just announced a Star Wars.
Oh,
I didn't see
collab.
that. I literally have all of their thermals because I have no self-control.
there you go.
Yeah, my roommate really loves them, and I think they're fucking cool.
Well,
so.
there you go. Well, on that note, the main takeaway from tonight's game is Mooncat and not Sloppy Box.
They might have a color like that. Who knows?
Oh my God! All I know is I want my
Well,
fingernails.
it would change colors. No.
I want my fingernail to be the color of a sloppy box. If you guys know what I'm talking about. Blend right in, baby. All right.
On the stream and save me from this filter.
Yep. All right. Well, until next time, guys, stay sloppy out there. Bye-bye. Back. Wait, I have to go back because I have to say, if you need magic items, you need MEI. But if you need sloppy magic items, stay sloppy, baby.